right.
It's worth the wait. Chris and Jeff, they got the scoops on the cards with the best clues. Chris follows the Braves through thick and thin. Jeff with the Brewers, always in to win. Their love for the game shines on the screen. Collecting cards, they're a winning team.
All right.
Blabbin', pound slamming. Every Thursday is the spot. Blabbin', pound slamming. SSP cards that we've got. From rookies to legends, big or small. Chris and Jeff have the power to jinx them all. Blabbin', pound slamming. Every Thursday is the spot. Blabbin', pound slamming. SSP cards that we've got.
Nothing like a little blabbing music to get you in the mood to talk
Oh,
hard.
that song gets me fired up, Jeff. I can't help it. I added it to my gym mix, for goodness sake.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another edition of Blabbin' About Slabbin'. Thank you for joining us on this early time. I know we're a little bit earlier than usual. And Chris, it's been quite a week in the hobby. We've got a lot of stuff to talk about tonight.
Yeah, we do. I mean, it's Valentine's Day Eve, for those of you who celebrate. Personally, I'm more of an SSP Thursday kind of guy, but to each their own.
Yeah, I wonder if Rob intentionally scheduled the card show on Valentine's weekend because he knows so many of his card show attendees like to pick up cards for their significant others.
There's no better gift, Jeff. There really isn't. You get a hobby box on Valentine's Day, and the night makes itself. It really does.
Yeah, it's a rainy, wet night in Southern California. So far, we haven't had any issues with our power, so fingers crossed. We've got a lot of IG cards to talk about. Series 1 dropped yesterday, and we've seen some amazing things so far from there. We've got trivia tonight. And Chris, in honor of my recent post about the 2021 trophy placement and Topps, prized for trivia tonight is a blaster of 2021 Series 2. So maybe you can find your own floating trophy. Yeah. So, but besides that, Mookie Chilson says Blabbin' song needs to be Super Bowl halftime next year. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's not very long, but that's okay.
We haven't got the invite yet, but besides all that stuff, Chris, we have a very special guest tonight.
We do. It feels like a 1980s TV show, Jeff. We have a very special episode tonight.
Yes, but thankfully there won't be any crying. At least I hope not yet. But yes, it is a very special episode. And I think we should just get started because I know our guest is a very busy man. So without further ado, let's bring him on. The CEO of Fanatics Collectibles, Mike Mahan.
All right, everybody, be on your best behavior.
There he is. What's going on?
Good to see you.
Likewise.
Yeah,
Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, we appreciate you joining our little collectors show, so we can ask somebody that makes decisions about all these cards that we collect.
The heartbeat in the hobby right here, and we got that theme music, which is very, very solid.
It's going to be in your head for the rest of the weekend. I promise you. You may start to hate it by Sunday morning.
I'm rooting for it in the Super Bowl. I think that was a great comment.
Yes, we always get great ideas from our chat. So it was a big week for Topps. Series 1 yesterday.
The biggest.
Yeah.
How was it for you guys?
It's great. I mean, you think about what it means to the hobby and to our company and to collectors and all of the tradition of Series 1. Of course, it wasn't called that back in the day, but now, it's everything from the beginning of baseball season to all of the nostalgia from the 50s on up. Brings me back to when I was a kid, and there was nothing better than opening a box of baseball cards. So it means, I think, the world to so many people here. Obviously, it's important to collectors, and we take it very, very seriously.
Yeah, I like how the timing worked. That Series 1 dropped right as like pitchers and catchers reported.
Exactly. The Super Bowl ends. You can look forward to baseball season. You get pitchers and catchers reporting. You get Topps new baseball cards out. Yeah, it seemed to be a perfect.
I think both pitchers and catchers and Series 1 are necessary to kick off baseball season.
Absolutely. Yeah. As a Braves fan, the first crack of Acuna's batting practice session is a nice jump start for me. I'm ready to go.
I think you're going to have a good year this year. We'll see.
And Chris, Mike, I don't know if you know this about Chris, but he's a baseball only guy. So where some of us have other fandoms to get us through the off season. Like I like basketball and football. I'm a big Bucks fan and Packers fan. Chris is baseball only, so he's been going through a long dry spell here.
I get it. I'm a baseball's my first love, so I completely appreciate that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jeff was being kind. I also I don't have kids. My wife hates me. Like I have my entire life is baseball. Like I've just been sitting here waiting for baseball to start again. I got nothing else going on. It's kind of sad, but it's starting to pick up again.
Wow. I get it.
Yeah, you've met me, you know.
We don't have Mike for a long time, so let's get right into Series 1, Chris. I know Chris and I have been sending images back and forth and on our IG chat chains all day yesterday and today about some of the stuff we've been seeing. And Chris, get into it.
Okay. All right. So Series 1 dropped. There's a lot of stuff in here that we really like. The Real One autos, that's great. We actually get on-card autos with the flagship design in Topps.
The best, right?
Yeah, really good idea. Yeah. I love the 1990 cards with no name. I think that's awesome. Some people have messaged me. They'd never even seen that Frank Thomas before. So that's cool. I love when you guys tie that stuff together, like with the Jackson Holiday, Billy Ripken tribute. Yeah. Fantastic. But Mike, we got to start here. Okay. Tell us about the Black Parallel. What happened to our beloved Black Parallel?
It took a little break. So let me tell you what happened and where we're going. Okay. So on the Black Parallel, we had an overall initiative at the company. If you think about the color schemes across all of the sets that we do, not only in baseball, but with basketball coming and football coming. And when you have different colors for different sets, it becomes impossible to figure out what's what, right? You have to look at, what's a green mean again? What's a red mean again? What's an orange mean again? And so if you think about it broadly, the hobby has just become almost unwieldy, right? If you're a collector, I liken it to a highway with no on-ramps. If you're on the highway, it works reasonably well, right? Maybe sometimes a little traffic, some things you're unhappy with, but for the most part, you love it, you're in it, it works for you, and all the idiosyncrasies are kind of kitschy and fun almost at this point. But if you're trying to get in the hobby and think about all the people that have come in the past couple of years, it's hard to understand. It's hard to figure out what you're supposed to collect, what's worth money, what's valuable, what's not. And it's just a little bit disorganized, right? So we want to simplify it and standardize it where appropriate and where possible. And so we went through the whole portfolio. We went through it. You make a lot of decisions very quickly. And the thought was, hey, blacks are to 10. Let's do the black foil to 10. And, that'll replace effectively the Black Parallel. We got the feedback, right? That, unsurprisingly, people really cared about that. And we listened, and happy to announce right here, right now, we're bringing it back in Series 2. It will be with us for the end of time. And in Series 2, you'll have both the Series 1 Black Parallels and the Series 2 Black Parallels. And then next year, it'll be back on its regular cadence.
They're back.
Oh fantastic.
Boy. Right? So we're going to start with some good news.
Oh, yeah. Let's, everyone, quick cocktail to that. Cheers to that.
Wow. That's, I got to take a second. I think our comments are pretty excited about this. A lot of celebrating going on. Wow. Well,
that's awesome.
Exciting.
We are very focused. It may not feel like it sometimes from the outside looking in, but we are very focused on the collector and the collector experience. We're here to serve the collectors. And when we get something wrong and we hear the feedback, we're going to do our best to fix it. In this case, we've done so. I think we've done so in the right way. We've done it quickly, and I'm happy with the result.
Dude, we are ecstatic. I'm really happy. Yeah, that's great. I mean, honestly, we're good. I think we go ahead, Jeff. I think we'll call it right now. This was great.
Good seeing you guys. I'm out.
Wow. Well, that's incredible. So we're going to get them in Series 2. And just so I'm clear, Mike, you said all the cards that are in Series 1, they'll have their Black Parallel in Series 2 in packs.
Go get them.
Wow.
Oh, that's fantastic. Awesome. That's great. Is that something you might do next year too, or you think you'll do
I think it'll go back to its regular cadence where Series 1 has you have the Black Parallel, Season 2, Series 2 you have the Black Parallels, and then
awesome. I gotta let the adrenaline kind of calm me down a little bit.
Yeah, that's really exciting.
Look, by the way, and let me just say this: I really appreciate how passionate you were about this. Other collectors were about this. It's great to see. And I think it's great when companies listen and they respond. And we've tried to do that here.
Yeah.
Yeah, we really appreciate that quick response. That's incredible. Yeah, I think it surprised us when it happened, and like I've said, we love
people in the comments are really appreciative, Mike. I have to just share a couple of these so you can see them.
Comments in there, by the way.
Okay, all right, just making sure you're seeing them.
Yeah, that's really good news for us collectors. Just the lineage and the history of some of these parallels really means a lot to a lot of collectors, and so that means a lot.
And I think it's important to talk about why we did it, why we made the mistake. You know, it was certainly, everyone was well intended by this. Like I said, you make a lot of decisions quickly. I remember when the decision being made, it was like, we sort of talked. It was sort of, people talked themselves into it, and then it was just on to the next thing. And, here we are. So I think we're in the right direction now, and we're going to get it right.
I don't want to gloss over that, Mike, because what you said at the beginning makes a lot of sense. And from when we first heard this news, Chris and I have been talking about that. We love the idea of streamlining and making very clear numbering for the parallels throughout the products. And especially, like you said, with basketball and football coming, it's going to get exponentially more difficult for new people coming into the hobby. So that makes a ton of sense.
There's exceptions to every rule, right? But generally speaking, you get a red card, you should know what that means. You get a gold card, you should know what that means. And so we like that discipline across the portfolio, and we have to balance that with some traditions, right? And so that's getting that balance right is important to us. And when we get it wrong, we're going to respond quickly, and hopefully we won't get it wrong again.
Cool. Yeah, Jeff and I frequently complain that like reds out of 25, reds out of 5, reds and Bowman's best out of 10. There's purples in 4 different numbers in like 2022 alone. So I see what you're doing,
and we got to
like
keep it up, right? And so not everyone's going to love every decision we make, and so that's okay. But on the other hand, this one was an easy one given the sentiment, and I'm happy we landed where we did.
Awesome. So are we.
And we're happy that you kept the Independence Day. That's really cool, and they look spectacular in Series 1 this year. And you kept the gold to the number to the year as well. Is that something you're going to keep going forward?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Our good buddy Scotty B has a quick follow-up. Will the black foil out of 10 remain? And we're just adding the black.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. So you have the black foil and the black parallel.
Cool. Awesome.
Yeah.
All right.
That does bring up a question, and I see M. Parsons is mentioning it here as well. What is Heritage going to look like? Are we expecting some big changes to those golds and black parallels?
Well, golds are to 50, so that blacks are going to stay with the year, and then we're going to add some parallels. So we're going to add red, we're going to add orange, we're going to add green, we're going to add blue. So you're going to get a lot more color in Heritage, which I think is awesome.
Interesting. Okay, so gold is
black and gold stays as is. And then we're adding red, orange, green, and blue.
Okay. All right. Great. Yeah. So currently in Heritage, the golds are to 5. So is that going to stay?
Okay. I misspoke. Yeah, we're keeping the golds and the blacks as they are, and then the reds, oranges, greens, and blues we're going to add. So I have to figure out where we're going to add I'm going to have to figure out where we're adding the reds, because obviously those are to 5. But so let me come back to you on that to make sure I get that right. But that was. Okay. That was my understanding. But
okay, that's great. That if you heard a sound, there was a collective sigh of relief from Heritage collectors. They're insane people. I mean, Jeff and I are crazy, but Heritage collectors are pretty passionate, and they do not like change, like at all.
Well, that's the point of the Heritage, right?
Exactly.
That's right. Yeah. And that brings me to another question. There were a lot of people worried about Heritage that we weren't going to get it this year, especially 2024. High number. Yeah. So is there a reason that it's delayed this year, or that it's coming out so late? Is that
so yes. So there's nothing specific to Heritage. So just to give you guys an idea. So one of the things I didn't know when I came and took this job was just how complicated the process of making cards is and was. I thought, well, gee, they've been doing this forever, right? In the 80s, they made millions and millions and millions of cards. how complicated could this be, right? By now, 2025, you just press a button. And that's not how it works, right? Do you think about how intricate cards have become now with memorabilia and foil and variations and parallels? And it's way more complicated than you would think. And this is an industry that historically has been very much underinvested in. And so the infrastructure and technology and modernization just didn't happen, despite the explosion in growth, particularly with COVID. So you had massive demand, right? And that demand has continued for the last 3 years, even coming out of COVID. And the infrastructure has struggled to keep up. And so we are investing as quickly as we can. We are trying to remedy that as quickly as we can. But we're also trying to raise the standards around quality and around design and around intricacy and doing all these new and exciting things, doing on-card autos, which complicates your operational process, getting customer service right, minimizing redemptions, all of those things, right, add operational complexity. So you increase your standards, you increase demand, you have infrastructure that has been lagging for really decades, and trying to get caught up has frankly taken some time and more time than I would like. Trust me when I say we are investing, significant time, significant money, significant resources in setting this in the right direction. So things right now are still subject to getting delayed, right? Just because when you have a production issue or you have, something goes wrong, it just has a cascading effect. And the way we think about it, we always try to hold the street dates for Topps Series 1 and Bowman and Bowman Draft and, the big Series 2, the big flagship Chrome, the big flagship releases. So when things move around, when we have quality control issues that you would never see that we fix internally, other things just get moved. So you have a cascading effect. We are hopeful in the years to come that those things go away. We just get better and we get the benefit of our investments in technology and improved processes. But it's a slog, honestly. And we take it very seriously, not only the quality, but we want things to come out at the same time consistently every year. But when we have to choose between something coming out on time or something coming out with the right consistency and quality, we will choose late, but getting it right. And that's what tends to happen.
Yeah, I think you had me at on-card autos. But I want to just throw this out there. Is there a way we could maybe like on the Topps Ripped site or maybe with Topps's Instagram, just sort of keep like a schedule or sort of upcoming releases, because like we just didn't know what was going on with Heritage. It usually,
so there were people that were worried that we weren't going to get any Heritage at all.
Yeah.
So the reason why we haven't done that is not because we're trying to hide information or keep things secret. We actually want you guys to know. It's just that sometimes when things happen, right, if there's, something needs to be reprinted or something, there's some sort of paper issue or whatever the case may be, right? There's weather in Texas and the plant gets shut down. I mean, it can be any number of things. It takes us a while to figure out what the impact of that is, right? And then you have a whole puzzle that has to come together. So oftentimes we don't know, and oftentimes things come together really late. Like, for example, we don't know when autographs will necessarily come in. We don't want to put out things with tons of redemptions in it. So sometimes we'll hold things until we have more autographs that come into the set. So oftentimes there's just a lot of uncertainty about when that date is. There's a lot of movement. Dates can move 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times. And so we don't want to be in a situation where we're updating something constantly and things are bouncing around. So we tend not to release dates until they're clear and we're at least reasonably certain that that's going to happen. I will tell you in the next, hopefully, I'll say by this time next year, I think the moving product and these delays hopefully should be the exception, not the rule. I think we will be, the benefits of the investments and the time that we've spent on this should be realized. But obviously, look, we're adding a lot more strain in the system, right? We're adding football and basketball and wrestling and EPL. And so we've got a lot more coming. And when we, just for us, you say, well, there's basketball now, there's football now, there's wrestling now, but we're very focused on the on-card autographs. We're very focused on the things like debut patches. We're very focused on the things that require a lot of work, time, and effort. And that has, when you add operational complexity and you add high quality standards, right? It slows things down and it complicates it. So not that we get it right perfectly, but if you look at quality over time, it has gotten substantially better. And I expect it to continue to improve.
Jeff, I think Mike just explained the mystery behind Jackson Merrill's changing autographs. It depends on if he feels the product, he's a little bit behind schedule, we just get the J. But if he's got all the time in the world, we get the full Jackson
name.
Merrill.
No,
okay.
We are doing a better job. Look, I'm glad you brought it up. It's good to talk shop. So we are more focused than we ever were on making sure that people sign their full autograph. But look, a lot of these young guys have to, they sign a lot, they sign a fair number of autographs. Yeah. And I get it, right? After a while, right? The player is inclined to keep that autograph as short as possible. But there's a collector that's getting every one of those cards, and we want to make sure it's great. So, we're really focused on the details. It takes a while to get them all right. And with social media, right, there's one little thing that gets wrong and then it's spread around and everybody's talking about it. But I really think if you look at these things over time, particularly with Topps, the trend line is very clear and very positive.
Yeah, I just, you guys were so upfront early on when you communicated which sets you guys were getting rid of. That opening day was going away. Chris and I, our favorite Stadium Club Chrome was going away. But so we all knew those were going away. So would it be a situation like a set like Heritage that you just don't say it's going away and then it does go away? Or are you going to continue to communicate?
Look, Heritage is really important to us. So if
Great.
First of all, Heritage is not going to go away. But if it ever did or it was going to pause for a year, we would communicate that.
Okay, that's great to know. Yeah, there were just a lot of worried Heritage collectors since they didn't see it. That's great.
Well, you can all reach out. We'll let you know what's going on. But yeah, as far as the exact date, when that's a moving target, we don't tend to put those out.
Okay, absolutely.
All right.
Real quickly, can we talk about some of the images we've seen in?
I heard you liked them all.
Of course. Chris was celebrating.
Yeah. We just have like a kind of a general question. Like one of the things that happens when Series 1 drops is the Golden Mirror SSPs start coming out, and we go crazy trying to find these images. People send them to us, and we just talk about them all. And they're always exciting to see. Sometimes, sometimes we love them. Sometimes we less than love them. Yeah. But my general question is like, is there a specific strategy here? Like what's the photo selection process like that you're aware of?
So I would tell you up until recently, it was a lot looser than it is now. So we've actually have a department. We have people focused on this. And I think really, a lot of your influence has made us much more attuned to image selection and image quality. And so look, there's always going to be a trade-off between repeating images and selecting the best image, right? So you have to recognize that there's a balance there. Sometimes there's only, by definition, one best image, and sometimes there's only so many great images. So you have to think about it that way. But I will tell you, the consistency of great images is something I feel like we can and will improve on. I think it's, again, one of those things. The trend line's better, but then, you see things like Shohei Ohtani, and you're like, how did that happen? So the good news is, because I'm trying to give you guys good news on a rainy day in California. We're going to have another Golden Mirror image because he's a pitcher in Series 2. So you'll have a better image in Series 2. So we will, again, right the wrongs of the past.
This is nothing but good news here. Oh my God. So I'm gonna have to get up and walk around just to kind of get some of this excitement out of me.
Yeah, and so just to talk shop a little bit with the Shohei image, it was find the best. We were focused on World Series images because obviously, and thankfully, the Dodgers won the World Series, and so we're looking for celebratory images there. What the right set of guidelines is, let's focus on World Series, but only to the extent we can find a great image. If not, go find something else, right? So it's just getting smarter about those directives as the company gets bigger and we're doing more, and you don't have, sometimes things get lost in translation, but we are very focused on making sure that the images that we're all excited about seeing, where you go, that's an amazing card. That's the kind of stuff we want to see consistently without exception. So
yeah, Mike, this card I had 2 immediate responses to. Like, oh my God, this is incredible. We've got the World Series t-shirt, the hat, the trophy, the
Ohtani
veneer.
in the back.
We got Ohtani in the back. Like, every box is checked. I'm like, oh my God, this is going to cost me so much money. This is a problem for me moving forward. But anyway, but yeah. That, in a way, I almost appreciate the Ohtani image being not great because I don't have to, sell my dog to get a bunch of them.
Save up for Series 2. It's coming.
All right. Noted. Will do. So kind of a follow-up to that, I wanted to ask you this question because I'm always curious. Like, there's great shots in Topps now.
Yep.
Like, for example, Acuna holding up second base last year. And my question is there any sort of choice at Topps to try and not reuse Topps Now images on what I'm going to be a snob here and say are real pack pulled cards? Or is there any thought about that?
Well, again, it's a tough trade-off, right? I mean, what do you guys think, right?
It's tough. Look in our comments, Taylor saying that they shouldn't be reused, Chris, but you would have loved to see that Acuna.
Well, we did it. We did a celebratory image with him in Series 2. We did it in Transcendent, right? With the, so yeah.
Really? Transcendent?
24, yeah.
Oh my God. How much blood can I sell, Jeff, and stay conscious if I'm going to have to find a Transcendent Acuna card? My general opinion is I don't consider Topps Now cards. I think Topps Now are like souvenirs. And Jeff and I have a couple from events that happened at games we were at. So we want that Topps Now card just as like a reminder, like a souvenir of that event. But like a card, to my old school way of thinking, it's got to be like pack pulled for me to be like a real card.
I think that the pack pulled dynamics are starting to be reflected in Topps Now, right? When you think about some of the parallels, when you think about some of the special cards we've now been putting into Topps Now, really in the moment, I think the pack pulled dynamics are essentially the same in Topps Now for some of these more special cards. So I hear you with the base cards, right? I think that's a fair assessment, but I would submit to you that some of the chase cards in Topps Now, right? It's the same dynamic as a.
Oh yeah, Chris and I both bought Ohtani's. Looking for that chase card.
Of course, yeah. Those cards are amazing.
Yeah. Obviously, I bought the Freddie Freeman Grand Slam card. I mean, one for me and one for my dad. My dad has it like on his bedside table. So last time I visited him, it was in front of a picture of my mom.
I was at that game. So I was at Gibson's homer when I was 12. And I was at Freddie's walk-off Grand Slam. Whew. And to bookend those two things as a massive Dodger fan was amazing. And Unreal. they actually the guys, it was really sweet. They made me a Topps Now card because if you elongate the image, I was kind of just off to the first base side behind the plate. You can see me in there, going.
That's awesome because Chris has been begging. That's the image he wants to see, the wide shot where you see the fans erupting in the back as Freddie's
come to
got
my
his
office. You'll see me and a bunch of fellow Dodger fans going crazy.
Yeah, that was great. That is as excited as I've ever been for a non-Braves baseball game.
It was.
I can't imagine it ever gets to that level.
I mean, it was a long time ago now, so the memory's a little hazy, but being 12 years old when Gibson limped up to the plate off Eckersley, who people forget was the best pitcher in the world at that point, in my opinion.
Best. Yeah.
And Gibson could barely walk, and the Dodgers were down a run, and he hit, it was unbelievable. And look, Freeman's was very similar, right? But the Gibson thing, because he was hurt, I had never heard Dodger Stadium like that in my life. I mean, nobody left. Everybody stayed for like a half hour. Everyone was hugging and crying. I mean,
they were such underdogs to those A's teams.
They had no business winning that World Series at all.
No business winning a game, much less the whole series.
No, right? And it changed, just like Freeman. It changed the whole.
It was. I think I heard the line with Gibson, and I think the same thing applies to Freddie. It's one of the rare times you win 4 games with one swing.
That's a good. I haven't heard that, but that's exactly it. I mean, it was just so demoralizing. You could
Oh
see
yeah, game 2, the Yankees had no life until the 9th inning. Like they didn't really have anything going on.
It's tough to come back after a game like that. It really
Unsung Dodger hero forever, Mike, is the guy who drew the walk right in front of Kirk Gibson.
Davis.
Yeah, there you go. That was gonna be my question. I'm glad you pulled that one out.
Alejandro Pena winning pitcher. Like, you want to go 88 trivia? I'll sit here all night.
Chris is a postseason trivia hound. Yeah,
that stuff, just that and Simpsons references. It's like 80% of my brain. I don't know how I get dressed in the morning sometimes.
If you want to go 88 Dodgers, I'm here all night for it.
All right. I'll see if I can come up with something else as we move on. So speaking of Dodgers, though, Jeff, we want to talk about Mookie, don't we?
Well, we've been waiting for Mookie autos for about a decade now, and every year we ask, and we knew he had signed the exclusive with Fanatics a couple years ago, right? And we thought that meant he was going to get cards, but he didn't.
It didn't. It did not include trading cards.
Yeah, so we've just been waiting, and then here they are. So can you talk about that? How did that happen? Are they going to be in other products? We know they're in Diamond Icons.
Yeah, Mookie's back.
Awesome.
Yeah. So, I mean, for us, it's really, we take these things very seriously, right? Mookie is one of the premier athletes in the game. Not having him, especially as a Dodger fan, is really bothersome. And so, look, there were some reasons I won't get into why the deal took, 10 years or whatever it was, but we got him back. We couldn't be happier about the partnership. I think he's happy about the partnership, and I know collectors are thrilled with it. So we are very persistent when there's a way that we can make the collecting experience better. And if that means getting an athlete who hasn't signed in a while to come back into the hobby, that's what we want to do.
Yeah, we are. We're so like we can expect Mookie, and like he might get a Stadium Club auto.
I would imagine yes. I don't, I can only go so deep with respect to the checklist, but yes,
that's fair. I
would expect that he would be broadly distributed within our sets.
Jeff, I need my PSA rag here. I'm starting to sweat like this. Luckily I have it.
SFO Sox fan is wondering, is this why the reason Mookie is in Series 2 for his base?
Ooh.
Well, I mean, look, it's sort of a 50-50 shot, right? So
just split them up.
Yeah, you can't put everyone in Series 1. Yeah.
Right. So I don't believe that's what drove it. No.
Okay.
Yeah,
well, we know you got to get going. Chris, was there anything else you wanted to?
We just wanted to, last year, we enjoyed Hobby Rip Night, and we actually ran into you at the Burbank shop.
Yeah, it was fun.
By the way, a couple of our commenters have noticed that the way your screen is positioned on your bottom right, our bottom left, you have the gold cup, like you're a Topps All-Star rookie, which is kind of funny.
This is actually what that is. So you hopefully remember the Brady ad that we did.
It's huge. Oh my gosh.
This was the trophy that we used in the ad. So that's
I love it.
Nice.
Looking at.
Nice.
Yeah.
Brady with the Expos.
Yeah. So look, Rip
Night.
Rip Night, it's funny. So Rip Night's one of the things I'm most proud of at the company. I mean, it was a concept a year and a half ago. We decided to experiment with it. We had 13 athletes, and I think we actually had a few hundred hobby shops, which we couldn't believe we had at the time. And we just said, hey, let's go out and celebrate the hobby and have a little fun and really bring that sense of community to life, because obviously community, I think, is one of the things that we don't talk about enough that's so fundamental to the hobby. And so we want to celebrate that and nurture that and grow that and bring in existing collectors and new collectors and just have a good time ripping cards and engaging with athletes and coming out to the shops. And it's now become, it's just become massive. I mean, you have over 650 hobby shops, you have over 100 athletes. So it'll be the same thing again next week. I mean, it's just, 30% of the stores, I think, reported record sales. I mean, it's just beyond our wildest dreams in terms of how successful it's become, because we never looked at it as a commercial exercise. We looked at it as, hey, let's just do like one big trade night where people come out and rip cards and get educated about cards, and let's bring athletes and celebrities and just have a good time and have a celebration and have a hobby holiday. And it's taken on a life of its own. Shops love it. Collectors love it. The athletes look forward to it every year. They have a great time getting out there and ripping cards. There's so many athletes that are into collecting now. There's so many celebrities that are into collecting. And so just to see that and be in this great community of collectors has just been terrific. I can't wait. I have an 11-year-old son. He'll be 12 next week, who just, he lives for this stuff. And so for us running around and, I'm half executive and half dad and just, thrilled to be in it.
It's awesome. I brought my kids when we went in August to Burbank, and they just had a blast. Carl Anthony Towns was there, and
he was awesome, wasn't he?
He was
great.
Telling stories and about how he was collecting as a kid. He was just so good with all the kids. Yeah, it was just a really incredible experience.
Well, he stayed. I mean, he didn't have to. Usually we try to get people in and out of there in 20, 30 minutes. He stayed and signed autographs for every single person in the shop. Stayed like 2 hours.
It was forever. Yeah. Yeah, he was making some trades. He traded that one guy for his shoe.
Yeah, the shoe trade was really funny. Yeah,
I had not met him before, but he is an awesome guy.
Really awesome guy. So are you going to continue to have it twice a year, the Rip Nights, or is it?
We were just talking about that. I think so. And the reason I think so is because by going twice a year, you can capture all the athletes, right? Because sometimes the guys in the season, it's a lot harder for them to do. So the short answer is I think so. But let's see how it evolves. It's going to be at least once a year, but I think twice a year feels like the right cadence to me. But we'll see as it evolves over time.
Do you have any athletes for sure are going to be out and about that you could let us know?
There's a ton of them.
Throw us a couple names just so Jeff and I know what shops to go to.
Ronald Acuna Jr.
I'm getting on a plane. Where am I going, Mike?
You're going to Florida. I don't know exactly what city in Florida, but you're going to Florida.
All right. I mean, I will fly to Tampa. You let me know.
You want to be in Florida or Arizona, right? You think about
that makes sense.
You think about spring training and all the guys in baseball. But I think we have like 20 wrestlers coming. We've got a ton of Hall of Famers coming out. We've got some of the biggest names in football. I mean, it's gonna be fun.
awesome.
That's incredible. Yeah. Well, we're looking forward to that. Quick question. Oh, sorry.
I was going to say, there's a gentleman in the comments, Mike, who has he's spamming the same question about every 20 comments. So I got to ask, do you know if Platinum Anniversary, that Topps Chrome set, if that's coming back?
I don't know about Platinum Anniversary. So,
okay.
But I'll tell you what I will do though. I will commit to getting you guys an answer and you guys can tell the world then.
Okay. Thank you.
Right.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to ask.
Yeah.
But we really appreciate your time, Mike. Thanks for coming on. And I still am elated over the Black Parallel coming back. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Very exciting.
I think one of the things I'll say is I think there is, understandably so, there's a sense of skepticism about the manufacturers in the hobby. Now an even bigger company like Fanatics comes in. And I think customers collectors really have been, a lot of cases neglected, a lot of cases ignored, a lot of cases disregarded. You think about customer service, you think about sticker autographs, you think about these extended redemption times, you think about unfulfilled redemptions, you think about manufacturing issues and quality control issues. And, then you get down to photo selection and a lack of innovation, a lack of marketing, a lack of bringing out the community. You think about all these things that frankly can and needed to be improved, right? And so I think what happened is over time, people become understandably skeptical that, hey, these manufacturers just don't care about the collectors, right? They just do their own thing in their ivory towers and they kind of get it wrong a lot of the times. And nothing could be further from the truth how much we care about the collector, how much we care about this hobby, and how important it is to us, not only from a business perspective, but as individuals and people that just care about the hobby. And you've seen that in things like the debut patch, right? You see that in the things that we're bringing to market because, those things aren't necessarily easy to do, but they're important to do. And there's a lot of little things that we do as well. And I talked about the quality control and the customer service and the redemptions and all of those. I mean, we're down to, when I started, I think we're at 90,000 redemptions. We're at like 7,500 outstanding redemptions now. I mean, it's crazy the amount of improvement that's happened in just a couple of years. And so the best is yet to come for us. We're getting better every day. We are firmly committed to exceptionalism in the hobby and just making the hobby as special as we know it should be and it can be. And for us, that's how do we connect you to an athlete? How do we connect you to the team? How do we connect you to a moment as authentically and compellingly as possible? And so that's what we're doing. So, there's a lot of distrust that's been built over the years, and we want to rectify that, right? And we want to be responsive to collectors. We want people to know that we care. Look, we're not perfect, right? There's no pretense of being infallible here. We are far from it, but it is not from callous indifference, right? There's a lot of, like I said, there's a lot of challenges that have built up over the years, and we're getting better every day. And I think that's why, if you kind of take a step back, the hobby's in a great place right now. And in terms of the number of new collectors, the number of athlete collectors, the number of celebrity collectors, the number of kids that are coming back into the hobby, and the number of families, it's really at all-time highs. And I really do think we're just getting started. I think we've got a ways to go. We've got a ton of new things coming out this year and next that I think you guys are going to be really excited about. We're going to start, the things that you've seen in terms of paying tribute to the past and tipping our cap to the stars of yesterday. That's we're just in the formative stages of that. So there's going to be a lot more to come there, because, look, as a student of the game and a student of history, you have to frame those moments and those athletes in the right way. And I think, some of the things that we've done are scratching the surface, and they're awesome, by the way. But you're going to see a lot more of that going forward.
Yeah,
Cool.
The nostalgia factor is so big in this hobby, and I think a lot of those things you guys are really hitting on, at least for people who collected in the 80s and 90s, like Chris and I.
Right there with you, by the way. I think I may have more 90 Don Russ cards than any human being on the planet.
The insulation in our bedroom is like 85% early 90s Don Russ that we just shredded and stuffed in there, and it works really well. I got to be honest.
I tell you, I have so many Tom Gordon rated rookies here.
I'm still hoping Steve Avery's going to make it.
Yeah, me too. Oh, that high school picture. All right. Well, we know you got to go, but there are a lot of questions in the chat about what you collect, if you still collect, what you are collecting. So maybe you can come on some other time and talk a little bit about your collection or how you attack things. I know people would love to hear that. They love to know that a collector's in charge.
Yeah.
I'm always happy to answer your questions, just in terms of what I collect. I mean, the thing that I do now is I collect with my son, right? So it's fun to get into it with him. Like we were building, simple things like we were building the Ohtani 50-50 set together. And,
nice. And
that was fun. And there's certain guys that we chase. I'm already a Jack Caglione super fan, so we're going after him a little bit. So, and there's from when I was a kid. I mean, my guys, Ricky Henderson was my guy. That was the first card that my mom bought me. She bought me she bought me the rookie card when I was, I think, back in probably like 84, and I modeled my whole baseball game after him. I was batting leadoff, even though I had no business doing that. And both my parents are big baseball fans, and so, but my mom was a big Koufax fan. So every year for my Christmas, my birthday, as long as their grades were good, I got a Koufax, and I finally got the 55 at the end, which was special to me. So, there's still some vintage cards like that. I think I have probably the nicest now Ricky Henderson card in the world. That's kind of the one big special card that I've purchased over in the last couple years, just because the card I still have the one my mom gave me.
Yeah.
But now to have the best one. And I got a chance last year to spend some time with Ricky, obviously not knowing, what was going to.
That's incredible that you were able to do that. And
that's really
he was awesome, and his daughter was awesome. And it was just, we have a picture of him with the card, and it was great to tell him the story of how much he meant to me and how cards got me. It's funny. I started with cards that got me into baseball. That got me into being a Ricky Henderson fan. And so it really started with his baseball card, and telling him that story for me was fun. And it was a great night.
I got to give credit to your mom. She is one hell of a motivator. If I got good grades, I got a Coke Slurpee from 7-Eleven. If my mom had offered to send me Koufax cards, I might have gone to Harvard and invented Facebook.
She
Right,
I'm not press my buttons. Yeah, my mom's the best. The best.
I got packs of 87 Topps, no Koufax cards. So
It's a win at the time, though. You pull a Mattingly out of that pack, Jeff, you probably would have been happier than a Koufax.
Probably.
84 Topps, first set I ever built. Speaking of Mattingly, card number 8, bottom center in my album.
Oh, yeah.
Love that card. Love that set. Oh, all those mid 80 sets, 85, 86, all those.
Do you have all the Mattingly, like, you have the Nestle, the O-Pee-Chee, the Tiffany?
I never went that deep. In fact, I never had an 84 Donruss, which I always wanted.
I know. Me neither. And I've seen them. You see the perfectly centered ones. They're incredible.
Yeah. My 83 Flair Kittle. Some kid ripped me off when Kittle was supposed to be the next big thing. I'm still stung over it. So, some good life lessons early. So yeah, I love this stuff. I really do. It's fun for me, and it's fun to be a collector, not only for myself, but with my son. My youngest son is not as into it, but he's excited for the wrestling cards. We haven't cracked the Chrome box yet, but he can't wait. So once he gets his grades up and earns the reward, we're gonna rip that thing.
Yeah, my nephew were too big into wrestling, but that was a huge set drop that you guys had. All we hear about it, and especially if you're having wrestlers at Rip Night, that's gonna be big.
It's gonna be fun. All right, guys. Well, listen, thanks for having me on. Yeah. Happy to come back. Love what you guys do. Love the theme song. And let's look. Feel free to reach out to us when you have questions. And cool. happy we got to spend some time.
Yeah, or anytime you want to talk about new products, we'd love to have you on too, because we're always excited to talk about new things and new developments in the hobby. So you're always welcome anytime.
Right.
Yeah. Thank you very much for joining us. We got the Black is back, baby.
Black is back. Let's go.
Black is back. All right. Thanks so much, Mike. We'll talk to you soon.
Well. All
right. Bye.
Well.
Oh. Jeff, go ahead.
You're back.
This is my son Lincoln.
Hey, Lincoln, what's going
what's
on?
Up, Lincoln?
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. You getting ready for Hobby Rip Night?
I am, yeah.
Yeah. Nice.
All right. What kind of athletes are you hoping to meet?
Anyone. I love meeting athletes. It's so cool.
Yeah.
What's your favorite card in your collection right now?
Nope.
That's tough. But it's actually probably this one. I have it in my backpack. I just got it back from PSA today.
Oh, you just carry it around in your backpack? I love it.
Just got it back from PSA today. Freshly graded. What do we got?
This one.
Oh, hold on.
Holiday image variation out of 10.
Oh, is that the black speckle?
Yep.
Nice.
Oh, incredible.
I pulled that one right out of a pack. Yeah.
Did you really? I'm expecting big things out of him this year.
Somehow it's in his collection now.
This kid's already pulled better cards than you and I ever have or probably will, Jeff. Well, maybe the Griffey.
Yeah. By the way, you don't want to put rip packs with me. My luck is not very good.
No. That's okay. We'll rip with your son because it sounds like his luck is great.
Yeah, for sure. Better than mine.
We'll take Lincoln's luck over that.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Well, thanks again, guys. Appreciate it.
All right, guys. Be well. Thanks again.
A lot. Take care. Bye, Lincoln.
Oh, there we go.
Wow. Okay. I just it's still hard to believe.
It's a lot to process, Jeff.
Wow. So Series 2 is going to be fun to buy and rip.
Oh, yeah. Series 2 is going to be good.
Chris, you missed your chance to show Mike your Thunderbunk.
That sounds really dirty, Jeff. I know he didn't mean it to, but that has kind of a weird sound to it.
Yeah, I guess I didn't realize how hardcore of a Dodgers fan he was.
I didn't either.
Yeah, that was really cool. That was a lot more than I was expecting. Wow.
Yeah. All right, I'm throwing the trivia link in there. We'll give everyone, I don't know, like 20 minutes or so, half an hour. Please sign up for trivia. We're giving away a Topps. Is that a blaster box, Jeff?
Yes, it's a 2021 Series 2 blaster. You can search for your own trophy. Good on M. Parsons for noticing that he had a rookie cup, which was really, in fact, a Tom Brady Gold Glove.
Oh, that's almost better than a rookie cup.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, that was a lot of good news, Jeff. I appreciate we're getting a better Ohtani. That might be the thing that excites me the most.
It's crazy that he knew you were going to blast the Otani before we even showed it.
You probably had a feeling
Yeah,
it was coming.
He must have known it was coming.
Yeah.
Yes, that's good to know.
But yeah, that was whoo. Yeah, that was just a little shot of adrenaline there. We're getting the Topps Blacks back. We have more Mookie autos coming.
Yeah, SFO Sox fan, we should pitch in and get Mike an 84 Donruss Mattingly. I think that would be a nice tribute.
That would be a nice gift. Yeah. Yeah. If he comes on a second time, we will for sure do it. Alan Forrest is right. It was the intro song that got him, Jeff.
Right. Willsy, intelligent, articulate dude must have gotten lost and ended up in the card world by mistake. Well, it's obvious that there's no mistake that he's in charge of a very large company. He seems to know exactly what he's doing.
Yeah, I think there is. I feel like, and he's right in a way. I think there's definitely an inclination amongst like collectors to just assume like kind of the worst. And I think if nothing else, after that 45 minutes he was willing to give us, I think we should all be aware that the worst is not the case. Like these guys care. They understand and they care.
And I think he went into it a little bit with just how quickly that the Black Parallel change came and went, and they didn't really consider the effect, but they obviously saw the effect that taking that out had, and are willing to rectify it. So that's pretty cool. There's not a lot more you can ask of a $1 billion company than to change course on something that affects relatively a small amount of people.
Yeah, they could very easily have just been like, yeah, well, tough, collect something else. Like, we're just not going to do it. But they didn't do that. They responded to us, and that's awesome. I mean, like Jeff said, I don't think you could ask for much more than that. Shelly the Turtle, if you as soon as this show is over, I was 100% going to start searching for Transcendent Acuna cards. Figure out what organs I'm going to have to auction off to cover it.
Yeah. And Thick Boy's right. Bottom line is he collects. He understands the impact, even if he doesn't collect the Black Parallel. So yes, we see that he is a collector. Really cool story for him to share with us about Ricky and the history that card had, and then getting to meet him last year.
Yes, very cool. Yeah, I tell you, it's going to be hard to. Shelly, thank you for sharing. That's the trivia link that Shelly the Turtle just shared. I'm sorry. I know there are a lot of you guys had other questions, but we're limited on time, and I thought it was more beneficial just to sort of have more of a casual conversation there at the end about cards. You can kind of see that he was off script. I mean, he cares. He collects. He's like us.
Love the Euchre patch, Cartoony Brothers. Love the Euchre patch. I'm going to have to get a jersey with that patch on. Yes, thanks everyone for being cool in the chat. Like Chris said, we couldn't get to all the questions. I'm sorry. I know there are questions about print runs and some of the other parallels that are gone, Mother's Day, Father's Day. But so we appreciate everybody being great in the chat, and we'll try to get more.
Dave Dixon, I want to argue with you, but unfortunately, I think you're pretty spot on. But
some pretty fun trivia questions, so I think you guys will be excited.
Yes, about those. We tried to do a little. The trivia should be good. We got a good prize, so please sign up. I see a bunch of you already have. That's great.
And if nobody knows what I'm talking about, on my Instagram earlier this week, I posted a 2021 card. In 2021, they had a lot of questionable rookie cup placements up on the top, down on the side, around the players' backsides, and so it was. I got a lot of good responses to that, so I thought this would be a good prize to search for your own.
All right. Ben Orr 14 already, as M Parson says, Ben Orr is already mad with power. What else can we get changed? But man,
I have to give Mike and Topps credit. They realized that it was authentic how many of us, even though it might be a small number in the total collecting community, as we learned from even spitballing some people in the chat that had been breaking the product for a couple of years and hadn't even seen a Black Parallel. So we are a small minority, but it was an authentic desire to get it back, and they seem to appreciate that.
Yeah. That was okay.
Chris, no, not too afraid to ask the print runs. I mean, we already got it for it just came out for Series 1. There's over 1 million cards, Chris. Did you know that?
Spoiler, Jeff.
Don't say that.
Uh-oh.
So their print runs are out, and most of the time you have to back into it with
math,
odds and math.
Yeah.
But there's very few things that we don't know the exact print runs of or estimated print runs.
Yeah, I think that Chasing Majors site does a pretty good job with those.
Incredible job.
If you want to check those out, there's some we just don't know yet, like the Dancing Dodgers. We're not sure. Are they more rare than Golden Mirrors? Are they less rare? Like, we'll have to wait and find out and see how many pop up for just for for one example. But okay.
Yeah. Right. So everybody get in for trivia. Get in the trivia room.
Thick boy with a this is a pretty funny comment here. I used to have a buddy in high school that pulled the hottest girl and we had no idea. That's blabbing tonight. Wow. Yeah. I like to think you guys have some kind of idea,
We're that buddy. We're that buddy, Chris.
That's right. That's right. Hey, we could all do a lot worse. Okay. All right. So should we do, while we're waiting for people to sign up for trivia, should we do a couple IG shout outs?
Yeah. Let me just promote Chasing Majors one more time. So go check out Chasing Majors for a lot of very detailed print runs, print odds, pull odds, and etc.
Mango Bango, this is something we definitely do want to discuss with them, that the Chrome inserts in Stadium Club the autos weren't on card, and we were hoping that would be one of the things from the Stadium Club Chrome standalone set that transferred over. It didn't, but I mean, we'll get to that. I mean, that's a extremely specific question about a product that, if we're being honest, is probably 10 months away.
Yeah.
So let's see. Ooh, Steven, I like your thought process, but
I wish we had that ability, but we do not.
Chris Hayes, we may have. We'll see. We'll see. If update comes out and it's nothing but podiums and Players Gala SSPs, you'll know that I failed the second.
That you didn't pass.
I didn't pass.
Gregory opened a Series 1 hobby and mega box. Taryn and I watched some jumbo openings, and she ordered a jumbo box from Topps today. So single-handedly, you are building the hobby. I'm sure Mike would be very appreciative of that.
Yeah, I mean, without a doubt, right? I mean, every sale is a sale. I mean, that doesn't make any sense, but you get the idea.
Belair, we just got word that Mike wanted to come on our show, and after hearing the bomb that he dropped, I guess that's a little clearer to us now, because Chris and I were definitely pushing the flagship black memorials, I guess you might say.
Yeah, we were probably pushing it a little angrily, and I'm glad that he saw it, and I think he wanted to, I don't know. It's cool, though. I'm very glad he did that. Hopefully we can get him again.
Yeah, it would be great to get him back.
Trying to find...
Shelly's pointing out the clears are back. Yes. This is another thing that... How many pages, Chris, was the odds list or the parallels list? Wasn't it like 30 pages or something?
Yeah, Filmington printed it out for our last... Oh, it is on that page. Okay. For our last spitballing episode where we kind of broke down Series 1. I think he had like a 10 or 11 pages, but he also had little glasses. The font was tiny.
And the clears didn't make the list.
Right. I did want to just follow up. We'll start our Instagram this way. Gregory was talking about his wife buying another box. It's because they pulled this bad boy. Imagine pulling a card you specifically want out of a retail box.
That's pretty insane.
That's fantastic. If you read his description here, he saw this card pulled like online and was like, "Oh, this would be amazing, honey, if we pulled this." And then they just did. So, buddy, I think your wife just opens all the packs now. I don't think you open any packs going forward.
Yeah, getting the card you actually want. That's pretty great.
Yeah, that's completely insane. Okay. Anyway, we'll start there.
Great.
I do have some other I want to talk about these two guys. So I know SFO Sox fan is still here. He posted this incredible threesome today.
Yes. Yeah, that knocked me out.
Yeah. I mean, these are 3 Shohei Ohtani Topps Blacks. from his rookie year. We've got the Series 2, 700. We've got the update, US 1, and then the rookie debut with the hitting
And
image.
maybe that's just maybe Mike saw that before he came on the show, and then that was enough just to put him over the edge.
Yeah, that is possible. He made the decision on the fly. Yeah, he saw SFO Sox fans post and was like, those cards look so badass. We're bringing them back. But I'm curious what you guys would think if they continue like this sort of trajectory. Like maybe Series 2, we get all the blacks for the first like 700 cards. Like, would it make you more likely to buy a Series 2 box? There's a ton in Series 1 anyway. I know Series 2 is kind of tough to sell sometimes. I'm wondering if they might go in that direction, Jeff.
He seemed thinking that it would kind of go back to normal, but I could see from a sales perspective that might boost sales of Series 2 because people want to buy Series 1. They're the new cards anyway.
Yeah, he used the word cadence, which is definitely a word I frequently used before today.
Cadence, the cadence of that. Yes, the cadence of that. Sports card breakdown asking if we go to Angels games or Dodgers games. We've been to both. We went down to Angels games with a couple friends, Yankees fans friends, see some Yankee games.
When Ohtani was with the Angels, I think Jeff and I went to a couple Angels games, but the Dodgers, like I would love to go see the last Dodgers game. Last time I was at Dodger Stadium, I think was Freeman's first game against the Braves, where he homered in his first at bat. But honestly, like I like going to baseball games, but it's really expensive to go to Dodger games.
It's expensive, Chris, but what's great about my kids are at the age where people have birthday parties there and they get invited to go, and then usually I'll get to go along. So that's pretty nice.
Yeah, that's great. But then, yeah, you got to hope your kids make friends with the richest kids in their school. I mean, my birthday parties were usually bowling parties. We didn't go to Major League Baseball games with crowds of people.
And in fact, one of them happened to be where they had a suite, which
oh my goodness,
pretty incredible. Yeah, and I have to tell my poor kids that this isn't usually the way you get to see a game. See those seats way up there? Yeah, that's probably where we're going to be next time.
Yeah, I mean, listen, if you took your wife and your kids instead of me and your kids, I'm going to be really bummed because I know she doesn't care. So if you have an opportunity to take a +1 and your kids, I better be the +1, Jeff.
Yeah, you will be.
Okay. All right. Next up at our Topps Black, I did not know he was going to say that, by the way, but I did want to talk about these two Topps Black runs that we saw on Instagram this week. Short Print a Day posted this really cool Garrett Cole run. Yeah, dude. I mean, honestly, Will, PTSD leaving the Chavez Ravine parking lot is not the worst thing that's ever happened to someone trying to get out of that parking lot.
Yeah.
But this Garrett Cole Topps Black run is really cool. And one of the things I like about it, Jeff, is you can see the evolution of the parallel itself. And I tell you, 18 and 19 really just jump out at you.
They do.
With the amount of color that we get. Even 17 had some stripes. Yeah. 16 is a little tough to see. But then we went from somehow to 18 to 19 to 20, which has just like a touch of black on that border there.
Yeah, I like last year's the best since the 18-19 duo.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah, so we'll see what they do with Series 2. There is a lot of white. If you remember when we did our first like spitball and early preview, I said like one of the things I liked about this design is the way the team name kind of goes into the border. So when it's a black border, it's going to look really great.
I remember you saying that.
It felt like Topps was like, the hell it will. But now it will. It's going to look awesome in Series 2. So I'm looking forward to that. Yeah.
He says he's missing the 2013 black rookie debut of Cole. It must just be all of his base cards, right?
Yeah, Chris? I think this is just the base card. We know Jake's not a big rookie debut fan, but boy, Topps loved a horizontal Garrett Cole back in 2013, Jeff.
They sure did. Everything was.
Yeah. All right. If you'll share that trivia thing one more time, we are one person under. We got 49 players. We hit 50. I say we run this thing.
Oh, let's get that. I mean, look at what you could win, guys. Look what you could win.
Listen, I'll tell you, any box Jeff opens won't have anything good, but if he gives a box away, we're talking straight fire.
That would be awesome. Yes. And
there could be a Eric Skubal SSP in there. Who knows? Curator of Cardboard talks about going to the A's Coliseum. I actually looked up trying to get some tickets to go. The Braves are going to be in Sacramento to play the A's this year.
It would be fun to see that.
I would love to go to one of those games. That stadium looks so small. I mean, it feels like Acuna could just like kill someone in the outfield with a home run. So I would love to go to one of those games. I know on StubHub the initial prices were it's sold out and the initial prices are stupid, but we'll see. We shall see. Okay.
Teapot was here. I believe he had to take the missus out for some sort of Valentine's date.
Well,
Hope you missed that.
well, it sounds like something that we should.
Joe, with
wow,
a very
okay.
vital question here. What'd you end up doing with the Upper Deck basketball box?
Oh,
I still have the box, but I texted my daughter's friend's mom back and said that it was potentially worth hundreds of dollars, so I couldn't accept it as a gift, and I'm going to give it back. I just couldn't do it. So
yeah,
it's still
Jeff,
here.
yeah,
Still here, but
Jeff is one of those Jeff's a good person. He would never. The fact he was shocked to find out what those boxes were going for, and as much fun as I think it would be a great video to open, I mean, we both felt a little bit bad.
yeah. They already CAT scanned the box. Oh, he's saying us. I thought he was saying the basketball box. We not quite sure this would be worth the CAT scanning.
Yeah, I'm not sure what we'd be hunting for in there.
Mm.
But anyway, okay. Jorge's cards with a hell of a comment here. Oh shoot, I had the wrong thing. There we go. Sounds like Jeff's in the wrong hobby. There are places where having some, personal integrity can hold you back. All right, we're at a great number for trivia.
Oh, before you get to there, I just want to say sports card breakdown. I was lucky enough to call the last game at the Oakland Coliseum with the Rangers. I don't know if I'll ever be at a more emotional game. Wow, that's really cool.
Yeah, that was cool. Hold on, let me get so I can look. Yeah, I was watching that on TV and you could tell the fans the emotions were high. People were throwing like some I don't know what they were, like flash grenades, or they were throwing some stuff onto the field. Like the fans were upset. The players were out on the field for a long time afterwards too. That team had a very strong, loyal following, and it's a shame their owner is just human garbage, Jeff.
Yeah, I feel really bad for that fan base. They don't deserve it.
No, and that guy doesn't deserve to make all the money he's making off running it into the ground. Like he's basically the owner for Major League.
Yeah,
in a lot of ways.
Yep.
But if you play fantasy baseball, I do think guys like Brent Rooker, Lawrence Butler, a lot of their hitters are going to put up some pretty nasty numbers in that ballpark.
And when you check your weekly lineups, maybe people on the road visiting that stadium.
Yeah. Yeah, they might not score in the ninth inning, but they'll probably score quite a bit in the first 6 or 7, right?
Right. Yeah. John, not sure to say good job or call you a slur. Yeah.
Well, earlier in the night, John said he was just getting started with his cocktail. So I can tell by the aggressive or over punctuation and lack of capital letters that, it's possible those cocktails are really starting to hit home.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, Shelly, I appreciate it. Thank you for sharing that one final time. Oh, yeah. All right, Jeff, we've hit 70 participants. A lot of interest in that retail box.
Love it. A lot of interest. All right, let's see some trivia here.
All right, hold on. Let me throw up the view that I need. So we're going to share this.
I was there, sports card videos. Yes, I can second that.
Okay. All right, we can see the countdown is up there. All right, everybody. I'm going to hit a button. It's going to start in 10 seconds.
Okay, I see the beginning soon. Everybody remember, you have to enter your number. The sooner you put your answer in, the more points you get.
Yep.
All right, guys, here we go.
Go get them.
Let's do it. Question 1, how many of each 2025 Series 1 base card has Topps printed? A, less than 500,000. B, 500,000 to 1 million. C, more than 1 million. Or D, time is a flat circle.
Guys, Jeff gave this one away earlier.
Just making sure to reward the people that were listening.
Oh, and we did. Guys are paying attention. I love it. 91%, excellent. More than 1 million. Well done.
Colorado. Yeah, and your prize from last week is still in the mail. It'll get there. Topps Chrome Blue Refractors are traditionally numbered to what? A, 50, B, 150, C, 250, or D, 500? Traditionally. Occasionally you get the random one, but what is the traditional numbering? Let's see how many people got this one. Oh, 87% went with B, 150, and you are correct. Yes, thank John. Hit the like button. Support the Black is back. All right. Turtle, Turtle in Colorado, JD Cards right behind them. Real One Red Ink autos are in what Topps product? A. Allen and Ginter. B. Topps Heritage. C. Stadium Club. Or D. Dynasty. Okay, I think there's a lot of fans of this product in the chat, so I'm guessing this is going to be a pretty decently high number. Oh my gosh, 95% said Heritage, 69 correct respondents. Good work, guys. Turtle, Colorado. Okay, some big scores being put up after just 3 questions. This Shohei Ohtani rookie card is from what 2018 set? A. Topps Series 2. B. Bowman Chrome. C. Stadium Club. Or D. Topps Heritage.
It's a shot of him carrying the bag if you're listening but not watching.
Yes, good point. Okay, we got pretty divided here. Most people said Topps Series 2. The correct answer is the carrying bag from Bowman Chrome.
Oh, Turtle overtakes Colorado. Jeff, this is like a Usain Bolt against
Clash
Carl
of the
Lewis.
Titans right there. This Rafael Devers rookie card is from what 2018 set? Topps Series 1. B. Bowman Chrome. C. Stadium Club. Or D. Topps Heritage.
I love this card. Devers is pointing. His hand is up. Good hint right there.
Mm-hmm. Okay, 63% said Stadium Club. 33% of the people got their correct answer. You can see a little bit in the top corner of the Topps.
Yep. That's his
Turtles
top SSP
blowing it
right
up.
there.
Yep. What year is Mike Trout's first Topps Chrome card? 2009, 2011, 2012, or 2013? His first Topps Chrome card. Hopefully we get a big season out of Trout. He looks good. He's in good shape.
Give us 120 games, please.
Yeah. Okay, so we've got 44% of the people got the correct answer.
2012.
Well
It's that weird. He's high-fiving a couple teammates. Not a great
Yeah.
card, but
Torrey Hunter on there, maybe? Or
oh boy,
Trump?
Turtle is.
What
on a
team
mission.
signed Justin Verlander for the 2025 season? Was it the Dodgers, the Padres, the Diamondbacks, or the Giants? Not the Brewers.
I was reminded of this last night. I was telling Jeff. I completely forgot.
All right. Well, most of our audience did not forget. They went with the Giants. 53 people got it correct. M. Newbert, quick on the draw.
Oh,
Right there. All right. Which player was never a rated rookie in a 1980s Donruss set? Was it A. Barry Bonds, B. Mark McGwire, C. Fred McGriff, or D. Joe Carter? I bet Mike Mahan would have known this one, Chris.
100%. Yeah. Oh,
Okay. Ooh, pretty evenly divided.
oh, that one got
Excellent.
some people, Jeff.
Barry Bonds, the correct answer. Yes. Joe Carter was with the Cubs
1984.
in his rated rookie. All right. Lincoln Thomas. Who was the World Series MVP for the 2019 Washington Nationals? Anthony Rendon, Howie Kendrick, Steven Strasburg, or Juan Soto?
It's hard to think of a time back when Anthony Rendon like played baseball, Jeff.
There's a lot of missed games on that list.
Ooh, 61% of us knew it was Steven Strasburg. Well done, everybody.
Good job. Last question. It won't be as easy as last week. We've got a tie. We've got a tie going to the last question. First time ever. Here we go. These 3 autos all belong to which 2024 rookie? Is it A, Jackson Churio, B, Jackson Merrill, C, Jackson Holiday, or D, Cody Funderbunk? Chris made an allusion to this during our interview with Mike Mahan.
I'm feeling the Thunderbunk, Jeff.
Jackson Merrill people are going with. No Funderbunk. 4 people went with Funderbunk. 50 people went with Jackson Merrill, and that is correct. Let's see what the winners are. This is going to be a close one. Colorado following up his win with a 3rd place finish. Very impressive.
700 points in 3rd place. Turtle 729 in 2nd place. M. Newbert.
Congratulations.
That's a new all-time high score, Jeff. 733 points.
Yes, I think people were blowing through these questions, Chris. Very impressive.
I thought I mixed in a couple tricky ones, but if you look, by the way, okay, that was 40th. I thought that was 4th place. Okay. Quite a
There was
drop.
a big jump.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, congratulations, M. Newbert.
M. Newbert, make sure you send us your address.
Yep.
And I'll get this box out to you, and then make sure you let me know when you hit something huge.
Jeff, I had a feeling that Turtle was going to be extra motivated, considering that he wasn't the first person to crack 700, despite his, I think 3 trivia wins at this point. But man, M. Newbert came in hot at the end. The last 4 or 5 questions, he took off. But yeah, congrats. The 700 Club now has 3 members.
Colorado, poor high score, did not have a long life. I will say there's some, yes, the early questions led to some pretty high scores. Oh, M. Newbert threw him a curveball with the 80s question. Still,
I was happy that Devers' question definitely took some people down with Stadium Club. And I almost feel like occasionally it's misleading because Jeff and I love Stadium Club so much that when people hesitate, they're not sure, they go with Stadium Club. But
poor Shelley said, I thought the Verlander question said 2005. I read it wrong twice.
all
right.
So well,
you missed the Verlander one, and M. Newbert missed the 80s one.
I see M. Parsons cracked 400 for the first time. So a lot of high scores today. Maybe next week we're going to have to make it tougher, Jeff.
Okay. I like that. Well done. Well, that was.
Oh, Shay Schultz. I'm sorry. I used to see some people in there saying that 80s questions are a little tough, but it's an important era for baseball cards.
Yes. Yeah. Gotta remember. And there was only one in there, really, right?
I would like to talk about the Red Sox getting Bregman because I hate to, this is kind of an old phrase, Jeff, but I spat out what I was drinking and I wasn't drinking anything. That came out of absolute left field. $40 million a year.
It's got to be the highest per year salary for somebody coming off a 118 OPS plus season.
And what's weird about it, again, I like the Red Sox. I love Rafael Devers, as you all probably know, based on that question being in there. But to sign a really good defensive third baseman and put him at second, I don't know. I mean, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, you got to wonder if it was kind of a wink, wink. We're going to do that this year, and then we'll get you over to third after this year. But $40 million, they could play him on the bench and he'd be happy.
Yeah, no one's going to be upset about that. I do really like if you are a Bregman collector, and probably aren't, but he's in a pretty good spot. That's a lot of lefties on that team, Jeff, and he's going to probably slot right between Rafael Devers and Tristan Casas. So he is probably going to see a lot of left-handed pitching. He loves to pull the ball, and the Green Monster is pretty close. So Bregman could be looking at a lot of doubles this year. A lot of RBIs, a lot of runs scored. I think he's in a great spot. I don't like him per se, but I know Cora does. And if Cora likes him, the whole Red Sox team's going to like him real fast.
Yeah, and I think it's only going to help the other guys, right?
I would certainly think so. Jay Marble, yeah, an SFO Sox fan. I don't know. I feel like if I'm the Red Sox, maybe I'd rather have spent that money on Corbin Burns. But I mean, at this point, their pitching is pretty deep. They've got a lot of really interesting arms. I do wonder when I look at that Red Sox roster, Jeff, and as a Brewers fan, I know you don't want to talk about stuff like this, but imagine if Chaim Bloom hadn't signed Trevor Story or Yoshida. To his credit, he was good at drafting and developing because they got 3 of the top 12 prospects in baseball. But man, his free agent signings have not gone well. Not quite Anthony Rendon bad, but they've been bad. But imagine if they didn't have those 2 albatross contracts on their books.
Would they be willing to spend that?
I don't know.
Yeah.
But they couldn't have picked 2 worst players to sign during that time period.
No. And then the one injured player that they didn't sign, Chris Sale, went on to have career year. Really good year.
I still think Vaughn Grissom has a lot of potential, but now it looks like he might be blocked. So who knows?
Paul says they're saying he'll play third. So I guess spring training will be interesting.
Yeah, it'll be very interesting. I know Devers was very adamant about staying at third, and part of his extension that he signed was that he would continue to be the third baseman. So we'll see. Unfortunately, I love the guy, but his defense has not improved the way a lot of people thought it would. And he was injured last year. Cora already said his shoulders are feeling great right now. Yeah, Yoshida stinks. There's just no way around it. But anyway.
Yeah. So it'll be interesting. I think baseball's better when the Red Sox are good. So despite not necessarily being a Red Sox fan, I do like the moves that they're making.
Yeah, I mean, at some point, at least it's not a New York or Los Angeles team.
Good point.
When you root for a team in Wisconsin, you gotta. Yeah, James Yoshida to the moon. Devers MVP. Jeff and I we're gonna do a preview show mid to late March, and one of us may say something quite similar to that. All right. So anyway, let's get back to Instagram for a few minutes, Jeff. It's I'm not gonna lie, the adrenaline from that first 45 minutes.
I know.
It's wearing off a little bit.
Yeah. That was the Black Parallels back. I still can't believe it. Jonathan Gordon. I didn't play trivia, but knew the Strasburg one because my Nats used it as a reason to give him all the money and trade away the rest of the team. Yeah. Strasburg really got a $250 million lifetime achievement contract for that 2019 World Series. But it's World Series. Flags fly forever, right?
That's right. I mean, as a fan, you can't hate it too much. But yeah, I don't know. I think Soto leaves anyway. And obviously, I mean, you didn't want to extend Rendon with what you're seeing.
No, I mean, between Rendon and Strasburg, that's about $500 million in contracts, and they've probably played like 5% of the games.
You want to throw Patrick Corbin in there, who's probably had the highest ERA in the National League in the last 2 years. Yeah, listen, flags fly forever. Not many, only 1 in 30 gets to win a championship. So watching Howie Kendrick homer off Will Harris, I think it was there in the seventh inning in Houston. You get to relive that all day long.
Monster that postseason, yeah.
Oh yeah.
And as a Brewer fan, we've never won one. So, SFO Sox fan, thank you for this. Really appreciate it. Anybody who's watched our show knows we don't really do a lot of interviews. We pretty much just blab back and forth. Occasionally, we bring on a third person to blab with us, but not do much interviews. So yes, appreciated.
Yeah, I know we saw some comments that people wanting to ask him other stuff, but that's not our world. Like we don't do that. That's not where we.
Yeah, I don't have a card shop. We don't really know much about allocation, breaking. It's not really our thing. We really wanted to talk to him about collecting issues, and that Black Parallel was top of the list.
Yes. Yeah, that's our wheelhouse. That's where we live. All right, so a couple more IG things I wanted to talk about. Thick Boy was just here a minute ago, so let's go right to him. He just posted this right before we started. Can you see it, Jeff? Hold on, let me make it.
I can see it.
Okay, let me make it bigger. Plus, it's an opportunity to say a quick hello to Thick Boy's French Bulldog there.
Yep.
So he's got this Shohei. This, by the way, this is what a good Shohei Ohtani SSP looks like.
Absolutely.
I love this card. This card is awesome. And I just wanted to relate to everyone the story here. Thick Boy says he sent a damaged 2024 Topps Chrome SSP of Jackson Churio back to Topps. Ooh. That's a risky move, Jeff.
Very risky move. We know the quality control wasn't great, but sending an SSP of a top rookie back is a dangerous game.
It is. That's a true roll of the dice. But I don't know what a good roll of dice would be. But this one came up really well for him. They sent him back an SSP of Shohei Ohtani. And This card looks awesome.
Yeah, we talked about it. It's one of our favorite cards of last year. It showed that Topps could get cards into a product from that earlier that season. It just, and like Chris has mentioned, a lot of times when we see this, there's just so much potential in that picture. We don't know what we're going to get. We're going to get the first year of a non-pitching Ohtani, and he's running out there in his brand new uniform. The Korea series, what's it gonna lead to? And it led to an MVP and a World Series championship.
I remember on Spitball, and we were talking about, like, we did like a season preview video, and Filmington was saying how, he's not focusing on pitching at all. Like, what happens to his market if this guy manages to hit like 45, maybe even 50 home runs? Like, what if Ohtani gives us a 50 home run season? And he went 50-50 and won a World Series. Yeah. So when it comes to this guy, I don't even know what to expect anymore. We just kind of sit back and enjoy the ride.
Thanks so much, Joe. Time to go shovel some snow. Yeah, we're getting rain here. I know there's a lot of places getting hit with snow, so stay safe. Thank you very much for joining and for the 5 bones.
Kevin Morales says, "Hey, did I miss the big guest?" And unfortunately, buddy, you did. He was on for about 45 minutes.
Yeah, you'll have to go back and watch when we're done, because it was some pretty interesting stuff.
BFG, it just depends on how damaged it was. I'm guessing if Thick Boy chose to send it back, it was probably really messed up. But yeah, I don't know. This Otani is pretty special. So
yeah, I mean, it'd be one thing if you'd have them both right in front of you. If you had a Churio and the Otani, and you could look at their condition, but I don't blame them for trade. This is a trade up, in my opinion, from a damaged Churio for sure.
Oh, absolutely. I love that Churio SSB.
Throw it in there. There's a big gouge in the center of the card.
Oh,
yeah, you don't want that.
No, it's always going to be, that Otani is awesome. And I will begin a hard pressure campaign to get Thick Boy to trade me that Otani card. But anyway, coming up next, this comes from Pack_to_the_future. I just wanted to throw this out. Just pulled. So this guy did a case break of our favorite all-time product, 2020 Stadium Club Chrome.
So he's the guy that got all those, the last remaining ones on eBay, maybe.
He got at least one of them. And he describes it as the product of the decade. And I tell you, Jeff, I have a hard time disagreeing with that.
The price is getting so high now, Chris.
I know, it's annoying. We can't rip it for fun anymore. But this is, of course, the Austin Riley glutes/home run card. This is his Superfractor on-card auto. I know it's not a rookie, Jeff, but
I love the way the Superfractor highlights that home run phrase behind him.
You're right. It does kind of jump off the card a bit more than usual.
Curator, yes. I'm sorry. I know I still owe you. I was telling Chris that I knew I owed a PSA 9 photo image variation. So yes, I'll get that to you.
All right. Yeah. So Curator Cardboard, go ahead and get that Otani from Thick Boy, and I'm sure Jeff will work that out.
Good trade.
But yeah, SFO Sox fan just pulled. So this is 4 years after the product came out. This dude's pulling one of the best images with the Superfractor auto. I know it's not his rookie, but hard pressed to find me a better Austin Riley card, a better looking Austin Riley card than this. I mean, it's highlighting his best asset, pun intended. And by that, I mean an ability to hit home runs, Jeff, of course.
Yes, of course. That's what you meant. Doc's throwing this out early. Riley's going to be an MVP finalist, which not out of the realm of possibility.
No, definitely not. I mean, there is a litany, which is again a word I absolutely knew before tonight, of Braves players returning from injury this year, and Riley is at the top of the list. His swing looks great. Ball doesn't quite sound as loud as when Acuna hits it, but I mean, he's raring to go. He hates missing baseball games.
Yep. It's exciting for the Braves fans and players if they can have a modicum of health this year. John got the base auto. He appreciates you bringing this one to his attention. Yeah,
it's this card is spectacular. I mean, it's just one when you look at stuff like this and then see Otani behind a podium, you're like, are the same people in charge of all of these sets? Like, make it make sense. Yeah.
Well, and I think as Mike was talking about, images are important to him, and they are improving or trying to improve that. So that's great.
Absolutely. So this Stadium Club Chrome set, Jeff and I have now opened about a dozen boxes, hobby boxes, and I got some retail that I opened when I was in Italy with my wife. Still, we are seeing base card images that we had never seen before. Recently, we saw the Robin Yount popped up on eBay. I'd never seen it. It's like I think he's bunting, Jeff. Is that right?
Yes. Yeah, he's bunting. I'm worried about his fingers in that bunting picture, but never seen it. Yeah, that's just awesome. And I've been trying to like subtly pressure Jeff into buying it, and it's not that expensive. This is a refractor on eBay, but I think I can get this done. Hopefully he'll grab it and we can show it in a couple of weeks when he gets it. It's probably going to work. Yeah. Oh, Peanut Butter used his MVP buyback, which is a bit of a sore subject with us. To get a box of 2014 Stadium Club. Awesome. Yeah. We could have used it towards a box of something. Well, that's okay. Maybe remember when somebody said maybe there'll be a shortage of these cards because all the smart people turn them in for MVP buybacks. Maybe there'll be a shortage of Aaron Judge refractors. Well, if nothing else, Jeff, I think we've got a really good trivia prize coming up around opening day. That's true. We've always got that. Yeah. But yeah, those early, I've actually started eBay save searches for 2014, 15, 16 autos. And it's crazy. I've talked recently about how in like some recent Stadium Club sets, there have been really cool autos with images. Harper, for example, Felix Hernandez, Jordan.
and they're limited. Like they're really short printed. They don't announce it, but there aren't a lot of them. And there's quite a bit of that in those early years of Stadium Club's return. There's a lot of big names and you never see the autos. Like a Frank Thomas in 2018 just showed up on eBay. It's the only graded copy anywhere. And I didn't even know he was there. So who knows how many there are, Jeff?
Yeah, that I see either a one-touch binder with those in your future, Chris, or maybe a slab binder.
Yeah, I agree. It's going to be a problem down the road for sure.
Real quick, BFG's bringing up. We didn't even talk to Mike about the show. I'm guessing he's going to be at the show, the West Coast Card Show, which happens to be this weekend. We briefly mentioned it for our Valentine's out there. Chris and I are going to be there on Saturday. So if you see us walking around in our jerseys, stop and say hi.
Damn it. I was watching a card I was supposed to be bidding on, and I got distracted by Riley's glutes, and I forgot to bid, Jeff.
Oh, man.
Oh, that's annoying. That's a shame. Anyway.
I do not know about this. I figure we'll find out. There's probably a trade night every night. Chris and I are going to try to find the Saturday one. I don't know if it'll be on site or close by. Dancing Dodger inserts are selling pretty well, says Shelly. $350 for the Freddie, $200 for the Mookie. What does that put the Ohtani at?
Well, that's interesting. Why would Freddie outsell Mookie? I did see the Freddie sell. I don't think people are just curious. They don't know what the print runs are. But so here's my thought on these, Jeff. It's going to sound like hypocritical, I suppose, but like, I just don't think there's enough that separates those cards visually to know what they are down the road. If that makes sense. Like the Golden Mirrors, we got Freeman with the World Series trophy. You're going to know that's special. But like Teoscar Hernandez's base card, for example, is him dancing.
Somebody in the comments, Chris, earlier said, don't be tricked by people selling the base cards as the Dancing Dodger cards because some of them are very similar like in Teoscar's case. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a little bit dicey. Yes, Freddie did start the dance at somebody's wedding. ATL Jeff Black. Yes, that is exactly the card that I was meaning to bid on. It's one I need for my gold run. I had
Heritage Gold you missed?
No. Oh God, no. I would have stopped the show, Jeff.
Oh, I was going to say.
Just the top Chrome Gold. And it only went for like $122 too. Which if my wife is still here is more than I was going to pay anyway. But yeah, that's annoying. Hopefully a fellow Freddie Freeman fan was able to grab that one.
Stadium Club Chrome says the Freddie is outselling the Mookie because people are buying to sell to you later, Chris.
That's fair. I mean, I've only seen one of his SSPs show up and I missed it. By the time someone sent it to me, by the time I clicked on it, it was gone. And I was telling my wife, I literally was refreshing that search every like 15 minutes. And somehow I still missed it.
Chris, just as a reminder, Matthew just joined us. Just as a reminder, the Black Parallel is back. He just got to that point in the show. So just a reminder.
Yeah. Matthew Cook, we're still excited.
Yeah.
That's huge news. And just honestly really cool that Mike was willing to come on and make that announcement here.
This is a great question. That's what she said. Sports cards. We're mainly focused on baseball. I'm assuming based on what I'm hearing about all shows is that TCG and Pokemon are going to be really hot at West Coast Card Show. What surprised Chris and I the most last time was the lack of Dodgers, really. The lack of Freddie Freeman's, Mookie Betts.
Yeah, that was weird.
I think would be more popular here. So I don't know. I don't know what to expect.
Yeah, it was weird. I was talking to one dealer who came up from Atlanta. He said, well, he's from Atlanta. And he said he left his Freeman's back in Atlanta because he didn't think there would be a demand for them here, which is a troubling thought process. I think that's his way of saying he didn't have any.
Yeah, it might have been because that seems ludicrous.
Yeah.
The clears are back. Yes, we did mention that earlier. And I see, is that a clear you've got up there now?
That's the perfect segue I was looking for, Jeff. This is Jackson Merrill's 2024 update clear in a somewhat confusing BGS 9 slab. This comes from Friar Fanatic Cards. And because we were worried the clear was gone. You and I both really like clears.
I think they're just list.
Yeah, they're just like it was not on their initial list, but they started showing up in hobby packs. And this is just a really cool card. So this guy's got this in it's a BGS 9. I'm about 4 or 5 whiskeys deep, and I don't know if I could read that anyway, Jeff. But
Subs.
I'm looking for the subs. Yeah, I'm guessing the edges and the surface are what kept it down.
I love the photography here where he shows both ways. That's a good idea.
Absolutely. So very, very cool. I think Jackson Merrill has potential to be something really special in San Diego. I was glad, Jeff, to see them sign Nick Pivetta.
Yeah, that was seemed kind of out of nowhere, but I think he could fit in really well there.
Yeah, I mean they have done nothing. I mean they were the Mariners. I think are by far the most, and I apologize as a Brewers fan. You might disagree, but the Mariners to me were the most disappointing team this whole offseason. It's like everyone went on vacation. They're like, yeah, we've got a great pitching, we got a good nucleus, but the hell with it. We're not going to spend a nickel. Very frustrating. But the Padres were going through their owner passed away. I know the wife and the brothers were fighting, but I'm glad they spent some money.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Dick Boy says the IG photo of Merrill is a finalist for next year's Blabin Post of the Year awards show.
It's dramatic, right? I like this. I'm curious, like what a raw one of those would sell for if it came up.
Adam, not big fans of printing plates. I think I've got a couple in my Keston Hira collection. Well, I'm not sure what they're doing, but they're hoping to stay healthy too. The guys,
but the core is so good. I remember the Dodgers players said that their World Series was the NLDS against the Padres. I mean, Machado, Merrill, Tatis is a pretty incredible 1-2-3, and postseason Tatis is an absolute menace. Michael King, Dylan Cease, like the pitching is there too. Now it's even better with Pivetta. I'm glad they did this. Yeah, the Mariners took a punt. They have a lot of money up there, Jeff. It's crazy that they didn't do anything.
Yeah, I thought Pete Alonso might be there.
Yeah.
I didn't see this. Sam is talking about that. He was saying Burbank got robbed last week. I was there last week for the PSA drop off. And I talked to Rob. I didn't hear anything about that. So
Sam, a different store out here got robbed. The Tarzana sports cards. You might be confusing. I didn't say anything about Burbank either, but I know the Tarzana sports cards shop was
got
robbed.
hit again. Yeah.
Very frustrating. They got a lot of cameras. Hopefully they can catch these scumbags.
Thieves used a stolen U-Haul and ripped the front security gate right off the front of the building.
Yeah, I feel like that was similar to what happened. Maybe it's possible he's confusing it with Tarzana, or it's also possible we just missed it. But I think we would have seen something about that, but I don't know.
Oh, Sam says there's a video of Rob talking to Burbank police. They did get robbed before, but that was I think that was an inside job.
Yes. Yeah. So I don't know. We will look into that. I have not heard anything about that personally. Doesn't mean it did happen. Doesn't mean it didn't happen.
Lucas, I believe the White Party has been canceled. That's the last I heard. The White Party was canceled, which is probably one of the smarter moves that Michael Rubin's made. So no more White Parties. So I don't think we won't be getting the invite anyway, Chris.
Yeah, the Michael Rubin list of things to do: cancel the White Party and avoid any sort of like pitching demos,
throwing a baseball.
Yeah, on camera especially. Okay. So anyway, this Jackson Merrill was cool. We will move on. What do we got here? Okay. I feel like I've shared this account before, but it's KC Cards _IG. Mm-hmm. And this is, I think this has got to be in the running, Jeff, for the best looking Aaron Judge card in existence, right?
Yeah, we've talked about this one before, and this is a beautiful parallel. Ooh.
Yeah, these gold minteds back 17, 18, 19, 20. The gold minteds are, I hate this sounds stupid, Jeff, but they're so gold.
Yeah, a lot of gold there, which can make them scratch easily too. So I see this one gemmed. Nice.
Oh yeah. There's a little texture to the background, and the card stock is thick. I think these are special cards. I'm a big fan. Our Instagram buddy Catching Heaters has recently announced he's going to try to complete the 2017 gold minted set to go along with his 2019. We wish him the best of luck on that endeavor, but it will probably cost him a lot of hair and money.
Yes. And there's a lot more people putting player runs together of gold minted.
Oh yeah. I mean, these cards look at this card.
Yeah.
I mean, outside of the glutes, it's still an incredible low angle. I don't see why if you were a Judge collector, why you wouldn't want a copy of this. There's also a regular refractor and an orange, but gold's always the way to go.
Yeah, great picture. Great picture choice, great design. This is very clean design.
Okay. What do I have next here? Oh, yeah. So Sharp Corners, who was another guy that we have talked about before, posted this. Let me get this one over. Vladimir Guerrero card.
Yeah, a little 88 Topps.
There's something about you and I remember we bought that Otani with the 85 design.
Yeah.
There's something about these chrome out of Topps Chrome, not the silver pack cards, but the Topps Chrome inserts that use these retro designs and have on-card autos. There's something about them that really, I don't know. I think they're special. They speak to me.
I think part of it is that it's just, we recognize that the card design and we never saw anything like it. You never had autographs on that, and you never had chrome cards, and it puts the two of them together, especially when you get a cool image like this, celebrating with his arms out. That's, yeah, I can see why.
Yeah, and God bless Vlad. He has been signing cards like no one else, I think, since he came up in 2019, and his auto has stayed pretty consistent. The anti-Merrill, we'll say.
Yeah, that's he's kept it very consistent.
By the way, Jeff, did you love as much as I did that that Mike was well aware that Jackson Merrill is just pissing people off with his autos?
Yeah, I think he tried to be as diplomatic as possible when he was talking about how they are trying to talk to the players to make sure that they are giving the fans and collectors what they deserve.
Hold on, give me a second here.
Curator's asking about when the first vintage stock was released. I do not know. Internet says 2016, which sounds right to me, but
there's like different versions of the vintage stock. Like there's another, like Freddie Freeman has one. There's actually one on eBay if you just look up Freddie Freeman 2011 Topps vintage stock. It's just a different way that they did it.
In 2011?
Yeah, in 2011. I'm not sure like the way that the number to 99, the way that we're sort of like we're familiar with it, and I'm not sure exactly when that started, but give me a sec. Let me just pull up because I know there's other
battery says I feel like I have a 2011 vintage stock Freeman.
Yeah. There's also like I know there's a Mookie 2015 that's in like update. Hold on. Let me try to find this. Let me try to find this Freddie Freeman.
Okay, but yeah. Vintage logo versus vintage stock.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, that's the thing. Yeah, the Freddie Freeman is a vintage logo. It's like a retro logo. I think it was actually a Target exclusive at the time.
That's what Curator's saying, 2009, but it wasn't numbered in 99. So he thinks 2016 is when they started the numbering.
I mean, that I'm willing to believe that. That sounds like it could be right. Okay.
Vintage stocks do look great this year. Yeah, I've seen a couple of those posts on IG. Starting last year, they did a retro design, Chris, as well as just change.
Yeah.
Instead of just changing the logo, they had a retro.
Yeah, I think they look great. There's kind of like how do you say whispers of the 1982 Topps design in what they've done with it.
Yeah,
and I think it looks pretty cool. I like it. Before we go, I think we're probably going to call this one a little bit early, Jeff, because we had some excitement today. And we can't live up to it. But I wanted to know, I asked a couple Yankee fan friends of ours what they thought of Aaron Judge's 2025 SSP. And I'm curious what the chat thinks.
Yeah, because we didn't get to, we were going to try to show a couple when Mike was on, and we didn't get our chance to. So
yeah, the fact that he acknowledged the Shohei stinks. I knew right there was no need to bring up any others.
Yeah.
But if you're a Yankee fan or even not, I'm curious what you guys think about this. This is Aaron Judge's SSP. Obviously, it's him in what looks like, I don't know, like an emaciated, starving Derek Jeter. But yeah, it's in front of this Yankee wall with a lot of Yankee legends and former players have signed. This just felt like just Yankee history kind of emanating off a card, Jeff.
Yeah, and it seems like our chat agrees. They like it. I think it's really cool. I didn't know about this wall. It seems like it's maybe near their locker room. Maybe it's anybody who's ever played for the Yankees can sign the wall. It's a great idea. I love the whole idea of it, but
I'm trying to find. I missed it. It moved quickly. There we go. Adaldis, I laughed out loud. This is funny. Jeter looks like Teapot in the SSP pick. Yeah, it's not a flattering shot. He looks very like shiny and oily and also like exhausted and hungry. Yeah. Wow.
Yes, at least they didn't stick a microphone in his hands. I see an Andrew Jones auto. Doc
Yes,
buying the autos. Chris told me that one too. Is that the one on top?
Yeah, on the top left. Andrew Jones is up here.
Yes,
right there.
Yeah.
If anyone else is good at these autos spotting, it looks like Derek Jeter signed it here and to the right of Judge's mouth, and then also over here, potentially by Judge's shoulder.
Jeter,
I don't know why.
Just keep signing it.
Just keep signing it.
Yeah.
See, I'm not great at like spotting these other autos. I'm not sure what they are. That one above Jeter looks like it could be Don Larson. I'm not sure, but
cool. Yeah. Typically I'd prefer on field shots, but
right.
This is a pretty cool behind the scenes. It's way better than a red carpet.
It is. Now, I don't know the timing of this, Jeff, but it is possible Jeter was just filming a Saturday Night Live Conehead skit before he came over, and maybe he didn't have time to take the Conehead off. I'm not sure.
Brutal.
But that is.
So we're getting Joe Torre's above Jeter. A lot of Andy Pettitte sightings underneath Derek Jeter on his shoulder. Sheffield on the far left. Left side going down. Shelley's got.
Oh, here we go. Let's hear it.
Ichiro, Sheffield.
Oh, that is Ichiro.
Jeter,
yeah.
Andy Pettitte.
Yep.
And
Keep
Torre's
going.
right above. Derek Jeter in the middle. Joe Torre's right in the middle of the Y. Oh, yeah.
Who is under Pettitte? I see it looks like Andy something on the left there.
Chris, Battery wants to know if that's Judge with Dr. Evil in the photo.
I mean, Derek Jeter's got a head that's made for hats. I mean, this is not a head that shouldn't have a hat. I don't know how else to phrase it. Like, this dude needs hats. We got to get Derek Jeter some hats.
I'm sure he can afford them.
I think he can.
The filter they used or Lightroom adjustments went hard. That's Andy Pettitte, Chris, apparently, where you're seeing Andy.
Oh, okay. That would make sense. Yeah. How many Andys that had? Oh, yeah. Up there. Yes. Yep. Okay.
Jeez. Thick Boy says Judge's teeth scraped the top of Jeter's forehead off when he left.
That's mean, guys.
Yep, Doc, this is true. He made it work.
Yeah, I mean, that's right. You're right. It's purely coming from a place of jealousy, more than anything else. Yeah. I mean, that jersey is hanging on Jeter like it was on an actual hanger at the MLB shop, but that's okay. Jeter made it work. I mean, his left arm looks like it could barely curl his watch, and that's again, he made it work.
Probably what happened.
Yeah. We're just bitter over here.
All right. Yeah. We're getting off the rails, but I don't know. I think it's a cool card. So yes, for Yankee fan friends that don't like it, I don't know.
Jeter out here looking like ET is a pretty good comment. I mean, like legitimate. Like, I don't know, man. He needs like to have a CAT scan or something. It doesn't look right, but I don't have.
All right, if you know Jeter, do a wellness check, please.
Yeah, when I see him for lunch on Wednesday, we'll talk about it.
Yeah, give him a wellness check.
Yeah, that's a tough card. Ooh, tough card.
Wow. Well, the big news today is that the Black Parallel is back. I'm extremely excited about that, Chris. Thank you to everybody in the comments, and I think Shelley might have mentioned this too. We're really digging the nail in here, Chris.
I don't want to. Come on now. But yes, sadly,
all the people that posted their Black Parallels, that went a long way to Topps hearing the collector's voice. So very good.
I think so too. I think so too. So I credit, all around. I'm really glad. I think it's really exciting. We said this before, but I don't mind saying it again. I think it's really exciting when the people in charge of the product that we all love are willing to listen to our issues and act on them, which is, I think, a spectacular thing. I think we should all look at this as nothing but a positive.
Yeah, and from all the things he said, it sounds like they're being really proactive and trying to get better, trying to get back on a timeline when the cards come out during the year that they're from. Quality control, he talked about. He talked about really investing in the infrastructure so that they can get these cards made correctly, with quality and on time.
Yes, and he used the phrase "on card auto" enough times that I think we understand, and they understand the importance of it and how it's just significantly better. And that's what we want. It's what they want.
Yeah, absolutely. And Maximum Freed cards, yes, prioritizing image selections. That was great to hear. Yeah, I feel like things are heading in the right direction. It was great to talk to him. Hopefully, he'll come on again. Maybe he'll have more stories for us, or preview other products, or just break some more news. That would be great.
Yeah, that would be awesome. He was a good guest. I pity our next guest, Jeff, who's going to have to follow that one.
What's Jake doing? Short for today. Touching bases, any good MLB debut patches left? Yeah, is Merrill still?
I believe Merrill is still out there. Yes.
Yeah.
As far as we know, Merrill is still out there.
Yeah. Well, thanks everybody for joining us at this odd time. Really appreciate it. If you missed our interview with Mike Mahan, please check the beginning of this video out and pass along the good news. That
yes, absolutely. We're gonna reel up shortly, but yeah, Shay Schultz is right. Very few guests can announce a new parallel. So
yeah, it'll be tough to beat that.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's play us out a little bit, Chris.
Yeah, it's chicken chunk time, buddy.
Yeah, we gotta play some music after that.
Right?
Chris and Jeff have the power to jinx them all.
Top myself up.
Yeah. Need to have that PSA towel handy next time we have an interview.
I did have to get it. Yeah, I had to get up, and I was not expecting that kind of blood pressure increase.
No, never know. Well, thanks everybody. We'll see you next week.